safe and sound. It's a beautiful snowy day in New Jersey. Not sure how much we're getting, but it felt like a better decision to just stay here and stay home and stay put and stay safe and stay off the roads. So I trust that you are as well. We are waiting a minute or so to arrive. So take a breath. Let your heart feel what your heart feels. Let yourself know who you are, what you are, where you are, and feel the blessing that is available to you right now. So take a breath. Whether you are on YouTube or Facebook, whether it's working or not, whether it's now or later, there is a breath in you that wants to be fully breathed, fully experienced, fully felt, fully known. So welcome, wherever you are, and join us in celebrating the theme Timeless Wisdom, Evolutionary Vision this year. And for the month of February, One Journey, Many Paths. One journey, many paths. And for today, follow the divine thread. So this particular divine thread is all about knowing that you're always on a spiritual journey and that within you there is an internal truth compass, a wisdom that is ever present everywhere and everyone all the time. And that if it seems that it is just a call always to practice a deeper knowing, a finding the path, then it's just that. If it seems that we're lost, we simply turn within and call within. And that the principles, the spiritual principles, are much more simple than we think they are. Or maybe more simple than we like them to be. We can tell we are on the journey home to our true self by how we feel, what we're thinking, how we're growing, how we're healing, and then we open up to the divine wisdom within. So my name is Frankie. I'm the Spiritual Director at Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. Check out our website, www.cslmorristown.org. There is a place to give, and now you can see in this broadcast, there's an easy breezy way to text to give. It's actually so much fun. I can't wait every week to do it. So interact with us, let us know you're here, and say hello. Thank you for being here. Start a watch party. Share this information, share about our community. Let us know if you have any questions. Use the bubbles. We will respond later if you have any questions. And let's dive in. Let's dive into this idea of following the divine thread. So one journey, many paths. Or maybe some people would say, many paths, one journey. The journey is the journey of awakening to our true self, to God within, or whatever we call that, our higher self, our higher power, our true nature. And there are so many paths. There are as many paths as there are people on the planet. Kind of makes sense, right? So some of you might say, well, that's too many paths. How do I choose? And then there's, well, there are not enough paths because I don't know which one to choose, or they're too hard, or they're too easy, or I'm always seeking, but I'm not finding. Or maybe you're on a path and you keep getting lost. By the way, U-turns are allowed. The idea is for us to follow the divine thread, the thread of truth. Or maybe you prefer the thread of love. Or maybe you prefer the thread of internal wisdom. Or maybe you prefer the idea of light or beauty or grace or passion or joy. That's your home base. That's your essential nature. And it's already within. It's not to be found out there, it's to be found within. And so what happens very often is we forget, we don't really know it's inside, we don't quite believe it, we don't quite trust it, we don't quite know how to follow it, or maybe it hasn't quite been developed yet. That's the purpose of the path, the purpose even of the journey. And so the invitation is to choose wisely, to seek deeply, and to allow the path to reveal itself. So let's dig into that a little bit. Choosing wisely, choosing the wisdom that is already within us. I love how they say that wisdom is love and intelligence together. And the idea is not just to use it and choose it wisely, but to keep it really simple, because it usually is very simple. And so we listen. So join me for a moment in practicing listening and choosing. So close your eyes if you can. If not, just look at something that isn't moving. Or imagine it for later if you are moving. So turn to your heart of hearts and take a breath there until you feel it become still and silent and quiet. And repeat to yourself, I am. I am. And let come whatever comes after that. I am. And let the words that come to the surface be your practice. Be your home base. Be your center. If nothing came, or you're still confused, the best way to do this is to say, if I were asked for advice, if the dearest person in my world would ask me what to do, what would I say? Usually something comes quickly. I would say to them, breathe, relax, trust, right? It's like, what would we teach in that moment? And then practice that. The next one is seek deeply. Seeking is interesting, right? Because the idea of seeking can be a way to get lost. If you're seeking, what does that say? That you may never find. So the idea is to know that as I seek, I shall find. So expect to find. Expect to find. Seek that internal wisdom and expect to find it. Seek not out of being lost, but out of a willingness to find, a willingness to hear, a willingness to see, a willingness to know. So let's do another practice for this. So close your eyes again if you can, or look at something that doesn't move, or maybe imagine. And allow yourself to feel in your imagination, what if I found that which I am seeking? What would that feel like? When or if I find what I am seeking. You don't even have to know what that is, but if you do, imagine that. What would that feel like? And then remember to breathe. That's a powerful way to practice, to imagine what it would feel like and to start there, to make that your home base, the place to start. Go with that. Go with that feeling, because that feeling tone is the impetus, is the seed being planted for a greater realization. The last one is the path revealed. One of the things that happens to people on the spiritual path, spiritual practitioners, is that we think the whole path has to be revealed. That's not terribly realistic. That doesn't happen to too many of us. But what will be revealed, and always is revealed, is the next step. But we skip over it because we don't trust it. We think that's not it because it doesn't reveal the whole path. And then we dismiss the whole thing. So let's do a practice just for a moment for that. Allow yourself to be willing to just take one step and ask, beloved Spirit within me, wisdom within me, higher self within me, essential self within me, what is my next step? My next step only. See? If that doesn't work for you, then know that there is support. There are lots of practitioners that are willing to support you. This is something you learn in a class. And so, in the end, it's usually a simple step, right? Be open, be receptive, trust, love, listen some more, meditate, drink some water, get some milk. And so, in the end, it doesn't really matter what path we choose, right? As long as it's a path that feeds you, heals you, fulfills you, strengthens you, emboldens you, awakens you, makes you a better person, takes you home to your essential self. So don't let the paths distract you, but let them take you deeper within. The journey of truth is ever revealing itself in so many ways, shapes, and forms. And so the question then is, what am I identifying with? What is my self-identity? Am I more identified with this worldly condition, this physical condition, or my essential self, my soul, my spirit? Am I more identified with my ego nature or my divine nature? Am I more identified with fear or with faith? Am I more identified with trying to control it all or with surrender? Am I more identified with the path than the journey? You are like a beautiful, glorious, juicy flower. You're always opening, and life is always unfolding by means of you in such beautiful ways, as the presence of divine love in the world. When we remember that and live from that, we discover there's no more need to struggle or suffer. We can simply be. I'd like you to hear our next guest, Michael Mallack, who will now join us and share some of his wisdom.
Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. I thank you for joining us. Today's topic is One Spiritual Journey, Many Paths, and I would like to do 2 short readings for you today to drive the message home about deepening our faith and our connection to one another. So these 2 messages speak to me and say, whatever our spiritual path, the deeper it gets, the more the truth will be revealed. It's up to us to do the work, to dig deep, while also allowing others to do theirs in a way that they're divinely inspired to do so. So the first reading's from the book we're using in our Bible wisdom class, being taught by Reverend Frankie, which is amazing, by the way. The book is Learn to Live by Irvin Seal, and I'm going to read from pages 76 through 77 as this pertains to the challenges we're facing today when it comes to faith. And then the second reading will be from The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, under the title The Smoky Mirror. So, hope you enjoy. So let's go ahead and read the first one. With the coming of maturity, we are much more impressed by a knight in shining armor of a blue serge suit than a knave in evening dress of the latest style and cut. The sensualist is concerned with how things titillate his taste buds and the olfactory nerves. The materialist is impressed with the thought that money can buy anything, or that science may make or cure anything. The materialist puts his trust in houses and lands and is unimpressed with the treasures that are in heaven. He relies on miracle drugs and upon new techniques to give him health. Then when misfortune or illness comes, he is impressed by the symptoms and sufferings as the signs and wonders of an evil power trying to destroy him. He is without faith because he has never thought about that which makes faith. He is weak because he has no faith. Being so long impressed by and so overwhelmed by the impressions of size and form and shape and color, of tangibility, there is no awareness in such a mind of the mighty power of intangibles. And this too is the lesson of the mustard seed. It is the smallest of seeds, but what a job it does. What an impression it makes when fully grown. Many people have erroneously supposed that since the mustard seed is the smallest of seeds, and since it is used by Jesus as the symbol of faith, then all that they need is a little faith. Nothing could be farther from the truth. A little faith goes a little way, as a little of anything does. A little faith gets a little money, a little health, and a little happiness. Probably nowhere so much as in matters of religion and faith do people expect so much from so little. In every other field, it is plain that we get out of something exactly what we put into it, that the law of action and reaction is operative in the world. Yet in matters of faith, we come to the easy conclusion that we can get something for nothing, that we can get a blessing from the Almighty without understanding his ways and his laws and the principle by which he operates. We do not get something for nothing, and neither does the mustard seed. The idea that a small, weak, insignificant little thing will draw a great reward out of heaven is misleading, to say the least. The power of heaven is right there, within the seed itself. Great stuff, right? And then the 4 agreements from In the Smoky Mirror. There's a topic here that says, everything in existence is a manifestation of the one living being we call God. Everything is God. And he came to the conclusion that human perception is merely light perceiving light. He also saw that matter is a mirror. Everything is a mirror that reflects light and creates images of that light. And the world of illusion, the dream, is just like smoke, which doesn't allow us to see what we really are. The real us is pure love, pure light, he said. This realization changed his life. Once he knew what he really was, he looked around at other humans and the rest of nature, and he was amazed at what he saw. He saw himself in everything, in every human, in every animal, in every tree, in the water, in the rain, in the clouds, in the earth. And he saw that life mixed the tonal and the nagual in different ways to create billions of manifestations of life. That is the light and the space in between the light is what he means by the tonal and the nagual. So just to keep that in context. In those few moments, he comprehended everything. He was very excited and his heart was filled with peace. He could hardly wait to tell his people what he had discovered. But there were no words to explain it. He tried to tell the others, but they could not understand. They could see that he had changed, that something beautiful was radiating from his eyes and his voice. They noticed that he no longer had judgment about anything or anyone. He was no longer like anyone else. He could understand everyone very well, but no one could understand him. They believed that he was an incarnation of God. And he smiled when he heard this and said, "It is true, I am God. But you are also God. We are the same, you and I. We are images of light. We are God." But still the people didn't understand him. He had discovered that he was a mirror for the rest of the people. A mirror in which he could see himself. Everyone is a mirror, he said. But he saw himself in everyone, and no one saw him as themselves. And he realized that everyone was dreaming, but without awareness, without knowing what they really are. So, the smoke of the world allows us to believe that we are all separate, that Everybody has a difference of opinion and a difference of faith and a difference of path. But if each one of us were to seek deeply within ourselves for that faith of a mustard seed, not that small faith, but that huge faith that just starts with a little bit and grows to be monumental, we can all understand that we're being called to allow each other to just grow individually, to deepen our faith, not to abandon it, not to judge others' faith, but we're being called to understand faith more clearly, our own faith, and to embrace each other on our own unique paths as reflections and reminders to go even deeper. So let us respect one another and lift each other up. If you're ready to answer that call, ask us how you can get involved here with our center to help us spread the word, to help us continue to move forward, and to keep coming back here so that we can give more. So we love you and we thank you for joining us today. Namaste. Have a great day.
That was Michael. How wonderful was that to have him? Thank you so much, Michael, for being with us virtually from your home and our snowy area. So we thank you for being here. Know that we are on the website, on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Meetup, all those places, and they're all places you can share from. Even our YouTube channel, you're welcome to share. We want you to know that we have some interesting things coming up. We're having a Course in Miracles group, and there's an introduction for that on Thursday night via Zoom, and our beloved Reverend Janice is going to start a workshop called Transformation 2021. There's an introduction on the 24th of February, and then it's a monthly meeting throughout the year. We're doing a coat drive up here in the Northeast, so drop off your coats and your hats at the center. There are boxes out front. And every fourth Tuesday we have yoga. So if you want to know more, just let us know. If you want to be on our email list, let us know. And let's close with a healing treatment. There's no social hour today for those of you that are local and part of our community, because we're doing a town hall meeting. So hope to see you there, those of you that are member and friends of Center for Spiritual Living Morristown. So again, know with me this truth: one journey, many paths. I know that there is a divine thread that always holds me, and I'm always holding it. If and when I forget, I simply need take a breath, and it takes me back to remembrance. It takes me back to my heart of hearts, where I find truth revealing itself when I wait long enough, when I listen deep enough, when I choose wisely enough, when I allow the one step to be revealed, and I boldly take that step to be prepared for whatever the next step is. Today, I let go of any limiting opinion around anything that's happening in me, to me, and in the world. And I choose to see from a more expanded, hopeful, faith-filled, trusting, higher self place, knowing that with the divine and with truth, anything and everything is possible. I know I am already blessed, and I trust that all the blessings that are about to be revealed support my highest and best, now and forevermore. And so it is. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Know you are loved. Have a beautiful day, and take good care of yourself.